So, as a first time mom, when I gave birth to Karen, I was so disappointed, yes. And at the same time, I wanted her to grow very, very fast, looking at how tiny she was. So, I kept asking my mother, when is she going to grow up? When is she going to grow up? And I know that if you are finding yourself in the same situation and you want to know your baby's growth month by month, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Mary. I am a first time mom, and the first time I had my child, I was so depressed, anxious, angry at the same time. Guys, you're welcome. Thank you for being here with me all this while. You stayed glued to this channel. As much as I don't post much of it, and you've been here, and if this is your first time here, I appreciate you for clicking on this video. Okay, my channel is quite messy, but it's because life is hard sometimes. You have to figure things out at the same time. So today we are going to look at babies growth, month by month. I'm not going to give you a picture or something because I don't have access to all those things now, but I'm going to explain so that you'll be aware of how your baby's growth is going to be month by month. Okay, so if you find this video interesting and if it provides you with value, you should just hit on the like button. You can share the video, and as well you can subscribe. Let me know your comments in the comment section, whatever you think I can do to improve upon the video, the channel. And if you have your own submission, you can put them in the comment section below. So after you give birth to your child, I know you were expecting too much, you were exhausted as well. You want everything to turn out very, very perfect, and it involves the baby's growth. You don't know what to do, what to expect as you a new mom, right? So the first week, your baby, the first month, because your baby is new to this whole world, your baby might be doing a lot of crying, a lot of pooping, a lot of feeding, because that's all they need at this particular point in time. So, what you need to do is that you have to spend more time with your child, cuddling your child, picking them up when they cry, but you should make sure they are not going to hang up on your hands for a long time, else, it's going to be a habit and you're going to find it difficult when somebody takes them from you. Always make sure they are lying down so that you also get a chance to breathe and to do your other chores. So if your baby cries, it's because your baby is hungry, your baby is feeling sleepy, your baby has a dirty nappy, you need to change the diaper and you need to feed your child. If you don't know how to breastfeed, I have a video here. Check it out. I'll put it in the link description. I'm going to put it in the description, yes. And if you don't know how to change a diaper, I've done a video on that. I'm going to show you. So that's the first month, right? And the more time you spend with your baby, it helps with the brain development. So do spend more time with your child. So the second month, okay, your baby is growing fast at this point in time, and they are alert of your movement and stuff. They will be making sounds, they can lift their head a little, they can tilt their head to follow objects, and they track movements, and they track movements. Yes, when you enter the room, they turn their heads, their eyes are following you wherever you're going. And make sure that you do not miss any of their vaccines at this point in time of 2 months. Okay. So the third month, your baby has strong attachment to you. Your baby has built strong attachment to you. Your baby can better control their head movements and will start to hold up the head up when they are sitting. So if your baby is trying to sit, they can hold their head up, and as much as it's not going to be very strong at in some of the months, yeah, but they can lift their head up a little. Mm. Good. So in the fourth month, your baby can pick objects with their fingers and with their thumb, and they try to put them in their mouth. So this point in time, should be very careful. You don't put anything that's going to be harmful to your child, so that they don't pick it and swallow it up. Else you find yourself in the ER. And this time, your baby can show emotions, anger, frustrations, and don't miss their vaccination. It's going to be 2 injections and 1 rotavirus. That's oral rotavirus vaccine. I remember when we took Karen to the second vaccine, she didn't show any form of pain, but she was just looking at the nurse like that, and I knew that she was in pain, but she didn't cry. It, it depends on every child, okay? Every child is very, very unique, all right? Okay, so let's go to the fifth month, and this time around, your baby is preparing for solids. So that's how come um, your baby puts things in their mouth, okay? They're telling you that they are ready to feed. So you should also prepare to feed them. This time they have a doubled weight. Their weight is doubled, as in from birth, because they are growing, they are eating, and they are learning as well. So your baby sitting up on their own for a movement without support. It depends on, not every child is the same. Every child is unique in their own ways. Some will sit up at this point in time. Some will not be able to sit up. But if that happens, don't worry. Your baby is going to grow in their own space. All right. Good. So your baby will be learning lots of language skills and may repeat something over and over and over. And those words, some of them you do not understand, you cannot understand, but trust your child and the process. In 6 months, you can introduce solids. And the third vaccination takes place. Please make sure you don't miss any vaccinations of your child, okay? Even if you're busy, give them to anybody, somebody, your mothers, your aides, to help them, go vaccine them. And most babies roll over by 6 months, and they sit with support, they babble, they sing, and they make squeal sounds, okay? Yeah, so at this point in time, your baby is going to do some of these things. If your baby decides not to breastfeed, or your baby weans themselves at this particular moment, just introduce solids. If you don't know which solids you have to introduce, I have some of the solids here for I have a video of such, and when Karen was also being introduced to solid, I have it here. I'm going to show you. So in the seventh month, if you see that your baby is drooling a lot, okay, it means that they might be having buds, teeth buds, you know, appearing. Okay, some babies can move around, they can crawl, they can roll, they can shuffle, and they will be continue with a lot of bubbling and a lot of they start to mimic the sound of language. So whichever language that you speak, if you speak French, if you speak German, if you speak English, if you speak Latin, if you speak Tree, the baby will be babbling such languages because that's what you're used to, and it's not bad at all. Your baby will be eating all the solid foods and as well breastfeeding. If you don't want to breastfeed, or if you don't breastfeed, you can formula feed your child, and your baby is going to grow very well without um, any stress. In the eighth month, yes, that's when your baby eats solid, and you breastfeed and you give formula and all, and they pull themselves up and they'll be standing, and they'll be feeling very comfortable, and they'll be very, very proud of themselves, and they also begin to be anxious if you are not around, okay? They'll be wondering, hey, where is my mom? That's why when you leave a room and then you leave your child at the eighth month, they cry because they are anxious you're not around. Mm? So in the ninth month, baby should be able to handle their foods and eat themselves. So this, if you have finger foods, your baby will pick them and then they'll be eating, like rice, banana, the baby will be eating them up, and then they'll be standing upright at this moment, and they'll be moving while holding on onto something, maybe chairs and stuff. Make sure, because at this period your baby is moving, you remove all um, tools or instruments that's going to be harmful to your child. We good? Yes. So the baby was showing signs of separation anxiety, and that's when you leave and your baby starts crying, and they'll be babbling, they'll be copying sounds, they'll be making noises to get your attention. So in 10 months time, when your baby starts crawling and be pulling things up, and they'll be curious about how things are working, and that is when your baby starts taking things, and then you'll be running after them, and then some of you, you will hit them. We have from Bonicra do say you know, they are curious about how things work. Some babies can just put soap in their mouth and all those stuff, but you have to be careful, you know, because when they start reaching out to objects and grabbing things, they can put anything anywhere, they can fall anytime, and you should, by this time, the anxiety of your baby, like when you're not around, separation anxiety, it would reduce. So you can leave your child with a stranger or your mother or any your aide, and they will not cry. And you may hear the first words. When I heard Karen say, Karen did not say mama, she said that dada, and I was angry. So you hear the first words, and by 11th month, your baby shows interest in picture book and stand by themselves. They can take their first steps. I couldn't get to capture Karen's first step, but your baby will take a first step, and they are almost a toddler at this point in time, and they will become independent of themselves. They can play, and they will grow on their own, you know, they are independent. And then by 12 months, your baby is a toddler, they take their first steps, they eat. Yes, and you can decide to wean your child, and as much as you have to wean your child after 2 years, but you can wean your child, and you have to go get your measles, mumps, and rubella, meningococcal. That's why I wrote it. Meningococcal and pneumococcal vaccines, and your baby will be standing well by themselves. So, guys, this is what you should be expecting in 12 months of your baby's growth. You have to be very careful. Clean utensils. Make sure you warm, you sterilize them so that it doesn't have infections and all that, insects on your baby's utensils, guys. And I wish that your child grows healthy, happy, and grows in knowledge and all that you expect your child to have. Next time, I don't know when I'm going to come back with another video, but I will definitely come back with another video, and I'm going to do justice to explaining things to you. And if this video has provided value, feel free hit on the like button, subscribe, and share. Leave your opinions in the comment section below. And if you're new here, I appreciate you. You're very welcome. Thank you, and I'll see you some other time. Bye bye.